Alright, what is up, guys? Got another tips, tricks video for you. This is Wunzy here. This is May. She gets a lot of hate from a lot of people, and I completely understand why. She's a 250 health hero with a ton of survivability, especially if you use it correctly. And she's pretty friggin' annoying. When she gets her little opposite of a flamethrower on you, there's very little you can do unless your team really steps up and kind of like helps you out and gets her off you pretty much. And her icicle blast, which is sometimes hard to land, is very strong. I want to talk a little bit about tips and tricks with her. Now, as far as she goes, her cooldowns are a little something that I think you have to hang on to for the right moments. There are other characters that you just kind of blow their cooldowns out and take them out and whatnot. Like Hanzo's one of those guys. I like to use my shift as much as possible. With May, her shift, she goes into a cryo freeze, which negates all damage, and then she heals as well. It's very powerful ability. Those, if you see the pressure coming at you, somebody starts opening up on you, somebody ults, obviously you want to pop your cryo freeze at that point, and it's relatively short cooldown. I think it's 11 seconds, 12 seconds. It's not that bad. I think actually that's the longest cooldown that in the game. I don't think there's any. There might be a 15-second. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just doing this again off the top of my head. And her E, she puts a frost wall up that blocks your opponents, and you can then you can use that to block damage. Obviously, you can use that to close off like a choke point, which is like my favorite thing to do. And it's just extremely good. When you come out of cryo freeze, you can plan to drop an E down right in front of you so you can get away. It's really solid when you start comboing their abilities like that. Her Q, she puts a blizzard, it looks like the machine from that freaking Disney Channel original movie from back in the day, the one where the girl has the weather machine. I totally forgot the name of it is, but she puts that down in a big circle, and if you're stuck in that circle for like, I don't know, it's probably about 3-4 seconds, you will get frozen completely, and then you can like kind of take them out and whatnot. So a couple tips and tricks for her. She has some maps that she's extremely strong at. This is one of them, Hanamura defense point maps, where you can use her E to close off an attack coming in and buy yourself valuable seconds. Now it's about 8 seconds that the thing is down. Again, I'm doing this off the top of my head. But you're buying your team time, you know what I mean? So it's huge. You can if you get really good at it, you can get to a point where you can close off like behind people and where you want people to close. Like if their healer is out of place and he's too far forward, you can close off the rest of his team, throw the wall up behind him, and then your team can just take him out. So she's good at that. She's very survivable because of her cryo freeze, because of her walls, and she does a pretty damn good amount of damage. So a tip with her, she has a basic combo. It's a very basic combo for her. You want to start out with your left click. Again, this is if you're on the PC. So you want to do like the opposite flamethrower. And then you want to freeze them when they're frozen. Throw your aimer up real quick. Right click on their head. Most people die at that point. Even tanks at that point, they take 1 or 2 shots and they're dead, depending on how much damage they've taken, around. But you see it in this clip. I do it a couple times. I freeze them and then just blast them away. So it's super cheap. A lot of people it's not super cheap, but a lot of people they hate it. They hate her for that, and it's one of those things that it's like, all right, well, I mean, that's just what she is. A lot of people are calling for a nerf. I don't necessarily think she needs a nerf, because a lot of people they say the same thing about Roadhog. They're like, oh, Roadhog needs a freaking nerf. His hook is OP, but he's hampered by his range. You just gotta watch your engagements. You don't want to run into a Roadhog too close, and that's why with a good May player, you kind of don't want to be in the open. In this match, I'm in the open a lot because I was landing my icicles and I was feeling them. But like if you can hug corners and stuff like that, you can really catch people off guard. The mobile heroes are very tough on her. Genji, Tracer, stuff like that. They're very difficult. Lucio and whatnot, because it's hard for you to just stick your freeze on them. But when you do, it definitely pays off. She is huge for your team. I don't like having more than one of her though. I like having one good May player who is good at landing their walls and, you know, blocking the enemy team off. That's where she gets her bread and butter from. That's where she gets her value on her team from, by being very good at just choking off your opponent, you know, just buying those valuable seconds. So if you can practice at doing that, practice your walls, getting them down quickly. You don't want to sit there and like line up your wall too quickly. You want to try to get them down as quick as possible. You see here that in one of these, that I completely put it behind Lucio. He's trying to get away, and then that enables my Roadhog to come in and hook him and take them down. But buying those seconds is valuable. Cutting off your opponent's resources, cutting off their reinforcements and whatnot is huge. There's really not much more I could say about her. It's all pretty self-explanatory. She's a very valuable hero on the defense. She's not somebody that I like on attack in virtually anything. As far as maps goes, all of the control maps she's really good on. Nepal, Leos, and Lijiang Tower she's very good at. The hybrid maps she's okay at. So Numbani, Kings Row, and Hollywood she's okay at. There's better options. The escort maps, I like her if you're defending, because you can throw her ult on top of the escort itself and they have to get off of it. It buys yourself, again, valuable times. And the assault maps like Hanamura, Temple of Anubis, and Volskaya Industries, I'm not a huge fan of her in all of those, except I love her in Hanamura. So that's just a quick, you know, little tip and trick and whatnot on Mei. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys at the next video. If you guys have any specific questions, feel free to ask them down below. Thank you.